Wow, here comes everybody. Hello, welcome everyone.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining tonight.
Back there.
Hello, everybody.
Awesome. Oh, we got some chats. Hi, everybody. Hi.
Hello,
Ooh,
hello.
here they go.
Got 320 participants. Hello, attendees.
Wow.
Beautiful, beautiful people. Thank you for being here. Welcome, Lester. Welcome, Adrian.
Hello, hello.
Hi,
And
Allison. Thank you for coming.
just to let you all know, this is a webinar format, so your mic and cameras are off by default. You'll just be able to see our beautiful faces throughout this process. So don't worry, we can't hear you. So
But feel free to utilize the chat with any questions or concerns you have. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So hello, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the Fall Full Circle Meet and Greet hosted here at the American Indian College Fund on this beautiful, beautiful fall evening. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get into introductions, we're going to start with a small, short icebreaker. It's one of my favorites. Adriana, would you mind going to the next slide, please? All right, so this one's one of my favorites. It's called a blob tree. If you want to take a look at all these little characters, all these little blob people, and if you could let us know, if you could shout out your tribal affiliation, the college you're attending, and what blob you are feeling today. Let me hear it. Let me see it. I'd love to see it. And then also from our panelists, let's hear it from you too. What blob are you feeling today? I'll go ahead and go first. I'm feeling 17. Someone's carrying me. I don't know who they are, but I'm very proud that they're stable. I feel like there's a lot of teamwork happening. Yeah, I feel like a 17. Julio, go for it.
Yes, I was just looking at this right now and I was looking at number 15, and to me, number 15 just means I'm chilling. So that's what I feel right now. So but yeah, no, we'll go next with Argiana.
awesome. I'm feeling a number 3. I'm struggling a little bit this week. It's a Monday. Just really kind of getting into the whole routine of getting back into work and stuff. But I mean, I'm pretty hopeful. I'm feeling once we get started here and we're like in the middle of the week, I'm going to be a number 15. I feel like I'm just chilling too. So let's go with Kayla.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm torn between 15 and 9 because, come on, 9 looks really fun. So I think I have to go with 9. I'm not sure who's next. Veronica, have you gone already?
Not yet. Dr. A, good afternoon, everyone. So I am feeling, I think also probably a number 6. I'm needing help right now. I'm in the process of moving, and as many of you know, that can always be stressful. There's, best intentions to have a really lovely, organized move, and then the reality happens. So I'm in the midst of that right now, and I'm reaching out for help, and I'm just really blessed that I have a lot of chosen family who stepped up to help me. So that's where I'm at, and I'm really happy to be here with all of you.
Great. Can't forget Cheryl. Cheryl, how are you feeling today?
I was so undecided, but I think I might be that number 7 that's barely hanging on. But I am perched solidly against the tree, so I think I might be all right.
Well, that's awesome. I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing a lot of people identifying with number 20. They're at the very tippy top. A lot of leaders in the room taking a bird's eye view of what's coming. Appreciate it. You leaders in number 20, please be sure to shout out to those of us below what you see, what you're feeling. I saw some number ones in the chat too. Definitely hang in there. You got it. Can't tell if that guy's doing a pull-up or what, but I believe in you. And number 6, yeah, I saw a lot of 6s too, reaching out to number 7, always there to lend a helping hand with our communities. Definitely thank you so much for shouting out your tribal nations. I've loved seeing them here in the chat. A lot of people from a lot of different areas. Love to see it. Feel free to keep utilizing the chat. Shout out to different relatives you see here today. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next slide. Adriana's going to take us through our intentions and what's on the agenda.
All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, party people. I'm so glad to see all of you here in the chat and so glad to see our panel. Just really happy to be here in the space and really officially starting our Full Circle Scholarship Program. So welcome, everybody. Yat. I'm going to be walking us through the agenda here. So we kind of already went through like our little icebreaker here with the blob tree. We're going to do our welcome and greeting. So our guest speaker, we have her here, is Cheryl Crazybull. She is the president of the American Indian College Fund. She'll be sharing a few words of advice and motivation and just kind of getting us started to set our intentions. And then we'll just kind of do a round of introductions with everybody here. So I'll start first. Hello, Yat everybody. She'e Adriana Soya Nishiak, Oslahana Nishlek, Kiani Beshes Chin, Sedesh gives me dash take, Ogedashanale. Hello, everybody. My name is Adriana. I am a college success coach with the American Indian College Fund. Some of you might know me from last year. Some of you, this might be your first time seeing me. I welcome everybody, and I'm really glad to be here. I'm Danette, and yeah, I'm glad to be here. So we'll go ahead and just let the other coaches and everybody else introduce themselves. So Julio, you're next on my screen.
All right, awesome. Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, whatever you're at, across the nation, I'm glad to see everybody here. Again, just for the ones that don't know me yet or will know me later on throughout the semester and year, my name is Julio Barron. I'm one of the other college success coaches, and I'm actually calling from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma currently right now. And other than that, hopefully you guys learn something cool, throughout our experiences, and our, public speaking and everything, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so welcome everybody, and we'll go to Loyola.
Yat She'e Loyola Rankin Yin Chia Hatso Neshle Nakai Bashichin Twadigli Dashiche Nakai Dashanale. Hello everybody, my name is Loyola Rankin. I am Meadow people born for the Mexican people. I am one of the college success coaches here at the American Indian College Fund. Have been with the nonprofit for about a year now, enjoying every minute of it. Love working with y'all scholars and helping you achieve your goals and build your skill sets. I'm calling from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'll pass it to Veronica.
Thank you, Loyola. Good afternoon, everyone, or evening. My name is Veronica Hirsch. I'm Ch'okonanda from my mother and Chiricahua Apache, and I joined the College Fund November of last year, November of 2022. So not quite a year yet with my colleagues at the College Fund. My position is the Program Administrator for Student Programs within Career Readiness and Employment. So I have a little bit of a dual role. For some of you, I'm your coach, and then for all of you, I'm a resource that you can use and you can contact for any kind of questions regarding enhancing your professional path as you progress along and as you continue to gain professional maturity. I live and work in Tucson, Arizona. These are the traditional homelands of the Kanakan people and contemporary tribal lands of the Pasco Yaqui tribe. And I'm just thrilled to be sharing space with you this afternoon and evening, and really looking forward to encouraging all of you in your path, and also hope to be a helpful resource to you along your journey. Thank you. And I'll pass it to, I don't know who still has yet to introduce themselves. I apologize for that.
We'll go to Kayla.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kayla Elkire Stewart, and it's really great to be here with all of you tonight. Unlike the others who have introduced themselves so far, I don't work in the Student Success Services Department, but I do work at the College Fund. I'm not an imposter. I work on the Research Evaluation and Faculty Development team in the Learning and Evaluation space. So in a few minutes, I'll be sharing a little bit about the Full Circle Scholar Survey that some of you may be familiar with and may have even taken before. I'm an enrolled member of the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe. I've been with the College Fund since this past March, so that's about 6 months now. And like the others have said, I really love being here and I love the work that I get to do. And especially these little instances when I do get to connect with students, it's a really great part of my role. I taught previously at Sitting Bull College and worked at United Tribes, so I have a history at TCUs, and I'm just really grateful to be able to continue to support students, Native students and TCUs through the work here at the College Fund.
Awesome. Thank you, Wall. And we do have 2 ambassadors here with us as well. We'll introduce them when we get to their section where they get to talk. But yeah, let's go ahead and transition to our guest speakers. So like I mentioned, we have Cheryl Crazy Bull here with us, who is the president of the American Indian College Fund. Without further ado, Cheryl, the floor is yours. I'll stop sharing so we can see you.
Sorry, I muted myself. The text stuff. Midakuyapi, Chante Washte Nape Chayuzapi. Greetings, relatives. I'm really honored to be with you this evening. I greet you with a good heart and a handshake. My Lakota name is Wachiapiwi, which means they depend on her, and I'm a member of a citizen of the Rosebud Sioux Tribe, or the Shoshone Lakota Nation. And I know that I probably have some relatives on here, so it's really good to know that you're in college and that you're joining us here. It's a really important time to get acquainted and to learn more about what the College Fund does. I'm really, so I just wanted to share a few thoughts, I think a few words of encouragement about college. I often share with people that I am you. I grew up on the Rosebud Reservation. I went to a public school there, and I attended 3 colleges before I finally found my path, and was really privileged to spend the early part of my career after college at Sinte Gleska University. I also got to work at my tribal school, and then I spent several years up in the Northwest, serving the Coast Salish and peoples of the Northwest at Northwest Indian College. So I know there are students on here from Northwest Indian College that it's really good that you're here as well. And the reason that I share that I'm you is because education set me on a path to give back to our people. And education gave me the resources to provide for my family. So those are the 2 things that I often think about when I think about, well, what has education done for me? You know, having an education meant that I could help my children, and can still help my children whenever they need help, even though they're older now, and I have grandchildren. I even have great-grandchildren. But I feel like because of my education, I was able to work and get jobs that gave me the resources to help them. I also feel that getting an education gave me the ability to help all of you. Getting an education means that I can go out and help you tell your story and help people who want to support education give us resources so we can do things like provide the Full Circle scholarships, or provide the TCU scholarships, or have these excellent coaches or researchers who work with the College Fund and can give you different kinds of support. So being able to be in that position to do that is really great. A couple of other thoughts that I had is, you know, I have that opportunity also to try to influence the experiences that you have with education. So a lot of you are attending tribal colleges and universities where who you are as a Native person just naturally fits in. You know, it's Indians going to school with Indians, and so there's a really good experience there. But many of our relatives go to school at other institutions, what we might call mainstream institutions, or predominantly white institutions, and they don't always have the same kind of support. They don't always have people in the institution who can give them the love and attention that they should get in order to be successful. And at the College Fund, we can provide that kind of advocacy. So I think about that too, and the fact that education makes all of us here on this panel and the students you'll hear from the ambassadors, gives all of us a lot of knowledge that helps us influence environments where our people go to school. And then by extension helps us influence other environments like the healthcare that we get or the kind of housing we have access to. All those kinds of things, the kind of schooling that our family members have. Education gives us the tools to be able to help address those things if they don't meet the needs that we have. So I think about that too, and the experience of education in that way. I also think in the last few years, I've had this opportunity to kind of think about what does it mean to have economic and social mobility as Native people. And so when I think about all of us, all of our students, you know, I think about it a little bit differently than what we sometimes hear in the rest of like American society. In American society, you know, they think of mobility as you move from one class to another class of people, and it's economic. And of course, those kinds of economic movements give you access to things like better housing, better healthcare, stuff like that. But for us as Native people, that I think gives us greater access to strengthen our cultural practices and to get the kinds of supports that we need to kind of bring more cultural knowledge and more cultural experiences to our family. So when you get an education, you know, it's cultural as well as that academic or vocational education. And I like to think that we at the College Fund that we're able to support you with that so that you can have that kind of mobility where maybe you didn't have the kind of access, or you have relatives who don't have the kind of access that we would like them to have to the traditions and rituals of our people. And I think that getting an education helps you do that. And the last thing I want to share is, you know, it takes work. It takes work to get an education. It takes making I don't really think of it as sacrifices, but I think of it as having a focus and prioritizing things. So, you know, and your family works with you for those priorities. So you know, you have to go to class. You have to study. You have to manage your time. You have to figure out how to adjust to campus life. You have to figure out how to have fun, you know, to make sure that you try to have some balance. And so all of those kinds of things, I just want us to remember that those things take work, and that we're making those decisions, and we're doing that work so that we can take care of ourselves, and we can take care of our families, and we can change things for our communities. I know from, you know, just being home this past weekend, how hard it is for so many people in our communities, and how much they look to us to get an education so that we can make a difference in their communities. So just to encourage you to think about that, you know, and to take good care of yourselves. You know, we love all of you. We want all of you to be successful. And I really appreciate my team. And I want to give a big shout out to them for organizing this event and all the other things that you'll be doing. Their work is really appreciated because it helps you be successful. And it's just really, really nice to be able to do that. So I hope all of you have a really great semester, and I look forward to seeing you at different virtual events, and hopefully seeing some of you at the AHEC Student Conference next year, and other kinds of things that we're doing. So again, Wopala, thank you all for being here tonight.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Cheryl, for those very powerful words. And thank you all again for being very participating. I don't know the full word in the chats. But yes, thank you. And we really hope to see a lot of you at AHEC this upcoming year. So thank you, Cheryl. All right, so now we're going to head over to Julio, who is, again, one of your college success coaches. and it's going to kind of talk a little bit about our student ambassadors program. And we do have two really awesome student ambassadors of this year with us. So I'll let Julio take it from here.
Yes, all right, thank you very much. So right here, you can kind of like look at our new ambassadors actually, some of them are probably on the chat, but we're gonna have two of them introduce themselves in a little bit. But right now, we have our 11 ambassadors, all with their specific, college or university they represent, all coming from different areas around the nation. So if you guys know them in any way or know if they go to your school, please get to know them a little bit more, because they are kind of like our, they for the ambassador program, you have to apply into it. And then we go through the interview process and all that good stuff, and then the people that get selected, they actually come down to Denver, Colorado, to our headquarters, where they have a 5-day training, of course, to learn everything about the American Indian College Fund, the mission, the values, and all that good stuff, so it's just a lot of things they have to kind of learn and stuff, just to represent the college fund wherever they're at, so they talk to our donors, our stakeholders, their public speakers, at their specific community college or university, or they go out in the community, and kind of do something for that sort of, and all that good stuff. So but yeah, no, just like if any of you guys are interested in the next year or so, the application opens up later on, and we'll give you information about that, but check up on our webpage, of course, and then kind of learn from there as well. So but right now I'm gonna go ahead and introduce our first one, and I'm gonna let them kind of go see which one wanted to go first, and if not, I'll pick one, so whoever unmutes themselves.
Hey, my name is Jason Rosette. I'm representing Stone Child College, and I'm one of the ambassadors. And the message I have for all the fellow Full Circle Scholarship recipients is just keep trying hard at school, and do the best that you can. And I know one of my biggest issues has been time management, making sure that you have enough time for everything. And just get involved with as much extracurricular activities as you can. And I think most of all, do what you can do to give back to your community. I know we have a lot of res monsters that are destroying our community, and so for me, education is a way to combat that, and try to make our reservation a better place as we battle these things like addiction and alcoholism, suicide, and fentanyl, diabetes. So education is a way to combat that and make your community a better place. So right now I'm doing my student teaching. I'm in my senior year here at Stone Child College, representing Rocky Boy and Chippewa Cree. And just wanted to say hi to you guys, let you get to know me a little better. And if you can, apply for the ambassadorship, and if you get the opportunity, it's a great opportunity. And so I say go for it. And do what you can do. So good meeting you guys, and thank you. Ita Tamiya.
All right, thank you, Jason, appreciate you. We'll go with our next ambassador. Come on and unmute yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to introduce myself in my Navajo language first. So, Yat Asia Kiona Hastini Ninja, Ashani Shanata Chini Bashishin, not Nish as a Dutch trade, do Topandashnella, Akut Ego, Dene at Ananisha. So, I just greeted you guys in the Navajo language. I am Red, running to the water, born for the red bottom people. I'm a senior at Northern Arizona University. I major in communication sciences and disorders. When I tell people that, most people don't know what I'm talking about. So I usually just say I want to go into speech language pathology. We really need them, especially for their Native children, adults, and elders. And I think one of the questions was like why we chose our university we're going to right now. So NAU is in Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm originally from Standing Rock, New Mexico. It's not a really far drive. 3 hours is not too long. I decided to stay closer to home for a couple of reasons. One being there's flexibility to go home and visit rather than only coming home for like certain like breaks or whatever your school has. And also NAU has a really big Native American community, so I wanted to go to a school where I felt like I was a little more seen and comfortable and able to connect with other Native Americans around the nation. And one of my tips I have for you guys is to create your own, establish some sort of planner for yourself, not just your generic like write on the paper pencil. I like to use my phone a lot and my computer, so people utilize the Google Calendar. They put reminders on, little things for that to keep you on a routine. Because as we get older, we think we can remember everything, but your food list, just take a picture of it. Be a little paper friendly. We don't want to be throwing paper away. And also, like Jason said, I recommend you guys all to apply for this ambassadorship. It's a really amazing opportunity. I really enjoyed seeing the other people in person. Previously, it's always been virtually, so to be able to go in person was very awesome, and to see the headquarters. And I feel like you guys can be in our position as well, and just being able to speak to you as an ambassador and as a scholar is amazing. So welcome new scholars, and welcome back returning scholars. Thank you for inviting me today.
All right, awesome. Thank you to both of you ambassadors, for speaking to our students and everything. And I wish you guys the best on your ambassadorship academic year as well too. So again, if you guys have any questions of any sort, I did drop a link on the chat to kind of read a blog about them, and if anyone is ever interested in the ambassador program, reach out to your coach for they could send you a link to like learn more about it, in the upcoming year. So definitely. But yeah, no, right now we'll go on to the next slide, please. All right, so for this right here, I'm gonna go over a little bit over kind of like the full circle scholarship, the components and where to find this information and what you need to do for the scholarship components, all that good stuff. So next slide, please. All right, so right here, this is kind of like the scholarship program components. And then honestly, every one of you have been to this site before. If you were never here at this meeting, you would never went here before, but you have to accept the scholarship agreement for you sign it, and it tells you like what scholarship components to do. So kind of like the information right above, just in case you guys forgot by any chance. You could always go back there. There's a link up top. And then these snippets, these little pictures down here is like how it's going to kind of look like. So again, hopefully you remember your email and password, put it in there. And if not, if you forgot your password for some reason, just put forgot password and they'll send you a new one just in case. So it's not going to be lost. Okay. And then when you get into it, then you're going to see this specific page on the right side of your screen. And then just for this academic year, we're going to be in the 2023-2024 academic year. So you click on that and then it'll take you to the next page. So next slide, please. Okay. And then right here, just in case, it's going to come out as, for the scholarships account, active scholar, it's probably going to say the fall, but it varies depending on where you're at. And just in case you guys don't know, the college success coach that you were assigned for this semester, sometimes if you've been here already before or had a scholarship with us, your coach might be switched. You might have the same one. It just depends, But if you're ever interested in knowing who that coach is, you can look through there. Just view and they'll give you the coach. And then, right below the activities, so what you need to do. And then right here below, we click on for program components information. And then this right here is going to kind of tell you like the very detailed things you need to do for the activity and everything. And I'll talk a little bit more about it in the next slide. But like over here on the right side of your screen for the scholarship agreement, it'll give you the same thing that you signed at probably the summer, or August, depending on when you got your verification, you know, and you sent all your documents and stuff, then, you know, it'll come up right there. So it'll give you the very detailed things right there. But yeah, next slide, please. All right, so this right here, of course, is gonna be a little bit wordy and stuff, but just pretend that this is gonna kind of look like what you have right now. So of course, you know, every student in here has a different scholarship. We have hundreds of different scholarships with different donor names. Of course, you know, think of the Full Circle Scholarship as the umbrella, and then everything down here is a bunch of different scholarships, and they all have different requirements. Some have less and some have more, depending on the amount you have or what the donor is wanting from each student to do. But you will work directly with your college success coach to kind of work with these as much as you can. So for instance, you know, the first four, you know, this is for all scholars, no matter what scholarship you have. You're going to do the scholar survey, one that comes out in the fall and one in the spring, okay? And we'll talk a little bit more about that with deadlines and stuff coming up. The second one, you see the attend meet and greet, fall and spring. So right now, whoever is here, you'll be able to get credit for that, but to get credit for that is being able to do the evaluation at the end of this webinar. If you were not able to go to this, you know, of course, you know, for all the other students that aren't here, they're able to look, check out the recording and stuff. And again, you know, if you want to go through this process again, you know, to kind of like, hey, maybe I forgot something that Julio said or Adriana said or whoever, you know, and then they're going to tell you like, yeah, just go back to the video if you want, or you can just speak to us directly. We don't mind, you know, just kind of schedule a time or email us if any questions pop up. And then for the third one, the future planning form, that's going to be up until the spring, of course. And Veronica will talk about a little bit about that as well too. And then lastly, you have the Connect, create a Connect profile. For some of you that have already been here, you probably already done this, but for our new scholars that barely got the information, you're gonna need to do this as soon as possible, okay? Whenever you get the chance. But just think of a Connect profile as like a LinkedIn account, but just more for like the community and scholars that we serve. And then we have a lot of, you know, young professionals, professors and people that we work with, have connect with in some time, you know, you can be able to, network with them, find a mentor, find internships, jobs, and all that good stuff. And then also for the coaches, you know, we've created some content on there. They're called modules, and we'll talk more about this more later on too, and throughout the semester to kind of give you all the options possible to finish up your scholarship components. And then there's some useful topics to kind of go through on there as well too. So those are the four for everybody, of course. And then right here, we're still on the side where it says the A. So down here, these events right here, so events and webinars, these are optional to attend for the following categories. Yeah, thank you. So we have, you know, mental wellness talking circles. Those are amazing things right there. So we have one of our consultants called Jacqueline. Some of you already probably met her already or been to one of her sessions, and if not, please go to them. You know, she has a bunch of sessions coming up, and we'll have dates for those in a bit when we show you guys the calendar for the academic year. Definitely go to it if you're needing more information about, like, you know, mental health, or how to be able to get build like coping mechanisms, or know how to practice when you're kind of going through a specific stress, grief, or anything of that sort. You know, Jacqueline is such a great resource, and that she's been amazing person for all of us, all the students that we work with. And then for the other ones, you know, that we have here, you know, centering self, uplifting emotionally, establishing your future and personal agency. Those are other pillars as well too. Of course, these are optional, but if you have the time or you're just interested in the topic, please go to them. You know, there's always a lot of fun stuff to know, and you get to know from other professionals, and also just kind of talk with your other peers as well, as a group or just in an individual setting as well too, depending on the event. Okay. And then on the right side, you know, this is just for a different scholarship. This one says 2022 United Health Foundation. This one, again, is the first four, of course, and then some things might pop up, there's just more funding or just other specific things that you need to do. So for this scholarship, the events right below, you need to attend a minimum of 2 events of each for the category for the academic year. So you need to choose 2 of them, So definitely, go to your student portal and look at your scholarship agreement form, to see what you really need to do and what is optional. And for some of you, a lot of this is just going to be mandatory for everybody, depending on the scholarship you have. So definitely look into it, okay? And if you still have questions, reach out to your coach. We'll be able to help you out as quick as possible. Okay, so no worries. Though, the only reason we're doing this is to not, cause stress on anybody. We want to be able to help you out, support you, and give you the resource and everything and the funding, to go through school, for your educational goals, career goals, and everything else, of course. So, hopefully that kind of explains it a little bit, or kind of answer a lot of questions you might have had. And if not, reach out to us when you get the chance, okay? And then now we're going on to the next slide, and I believe, okay, no, there's one more. All right, so this one, your scholarship application ID. This right here, this is just another better way to kind of know who the student is, just in case we need to look into your scholarship or know your identity and stuff like that. You have a scholarship application ID that's connected to your name and then your application, your scholarship, So if you're able to kind of know that information, it should be a lot easier for us, for our tracking purposes, to see who's done what, for hey, for example, this student called me and they're like, hey, I want to know what I've done, so all right, you've done the survey, future planning forum, and you're missing these 2, so the application ID will be very helpful just to know and stuff, but also just for yourself too, for you can kind of explore the whole student portal page as well too. So definitely keep these things in mind, when you find the information, put it on your phone, put it in your notebook, or put it somewhere that you're going to remember. Or if you just have good memory, I don't have good memory, I have to write everything down, so definitely do that, okay? But yeah, other than that is it from me, and then I believe it's going to be Kayla next.
All right. Thanks, Julio. I've been trying to catch up with the chat, but it's been on fire for a good part of this webinar. So I know I've missed quite a few, but one thing that's been awesome to see is the support that all of you scholars have for one another. And I think that that's really supported and demonstrated by the whole SSS and coaching team too. Since I started with the College Fund, it's been awesome spending some time getting to know them and their work and just how invested they are in helping you be successful. So one of the ways that we've been able to collaborate, and that's the Learning and Evaluation team and SSS, and specifically the College Access and Success team that the coaches fall under, is through this Full Circle Scholar Survey. So if you noticed on the 2 examples that Julio shared as far as scholarship requirements, this survey is a requirement for all Full Circle scholars. So that might be one of the first questions you have, who has to take this survey? All Full Circle scholars. It is administered twice annually, so in the fall and the spring. It's anticipated to launch this Friday, September 29th. So watch for an email or a text or both. That's requesting your participation in this Full Circle Scholar Survey. And now the most important question, why? Why do we need to complete it? If I were you, if I were a scholar and I'm being sent a survey that's going to take 15 to 20 minutes of my time when I'm already strapped for time, right? I'd be wondering, what's the purpose? How is this information used? And I can tell you that, again, and as you've probably heard and you've experienced, that the coaching team very much wants to support you in the best way that they can. So the information gained from the survey isn't just housed in some Excel spreadsheet and then, never looked at again. It's something that we actually go through response by response and look at some of this data and try to determine, okay, who are our scholars, right? And how can we best support them? What are their needs? Where are their successes? What are their challenges? And what can we do with our programming to continue to support them effectively? So what I want to share with you next, we go ahead and go to the next slide, please, are a couple images of some of the results that came from last year's Full Circle Scholar survey. And when we went through the data, we ended up with like 70 slides, right? So thank you for sharing all of that information. So this is just a tiny piece of data that was taken, but I picked these two because of the insight that they provide. So if you look in the upper left here of the screen, you'll see that this captures the motivation for why our scholars attend college. Now, this data is aggregate data, meaning all of these individual responses are combined and it's reported as a group. So there are going to be cases when you feel like, I don't fit into that, and that's understandable. But what we're trying to do is kind of form some understandings of our scholars generally, and then the coaches work with you individually, so we have nuanced understandings as well. But what you see here is that a majority of scholars choose giving back to their community as a main reason for attending college. And that's important for us to know, because then when we're supporting your success along the way, we know that to align with your goals, we want to support that ability for you to ultimately graduate and to give back to the communities from which you come from or which you're a part of, right? And what's really cool, this isn't included on the slide right here, but when we looked at the postgraduate data from this past year, we saw that 80% of scholars who graduated in this past spring of 23, did work in jobs that allowed them to give back to Native communities. So that's awesome. That's definitely what we want to see, because we're supporting scholars in helping them achieve their goals, right? Another interesting area, you know that the SSS team wants to help you succeed. And a lot of people, sometimes when you hear the concept or think of the concept of success, you might be wondering, okay, well, what does that mean, right? And the college success team really wanted to know, well, what does that mean to our scholars, right? So that's why you were asked, how would you define success, right? What does success look like to you? And when we went through those findings, we were able to better see what you, the scholars, thought of and how you define success, right? So a feeling, an action, and an outcome. When scholars think about success, they think about feeling happy, being able to help others, right? Being proud that they made it through difficult times, feeling no stress, which, you know, even when we graduate, we might still have a little bit of stress occasionally, but the concept is there, right? It's this feeling of having achieved this and probably having less stress than when you're like in the grind of trying to make it there. Doing what makes you happy, inspiring others, leaving a positive impact, changing toxic ways, completing my degree, obtaining a good paying job, taking care of my family. So these examples are just a few of 800 and some that were taken from the spring survey. But when we look at all of the responses, they really align with what you see right here and can be filtered into these main groups, right? So when you share your responses, you're actually helping us understand more about who you are so that we can better support you. So I just want to thank you again for participating in this survey. It's something that the SSS team spends time with, and you'll see in the upcoming slides, the information that is gained from that survey impacts the programming and how they work with you throughout your time as a Full Circle Scholar.
Thank you, Kayla. And just to show how tangible the results of your information is, we have here the 2023-2024 pillars for this academic year. As Julio had mentioned previously, these are outlined on your scholarship agreement forms. These are, scholarship agreement letter. The letter is the one that you signed at the beginning of the semester saying like, yes, I will do all of the requirements. And the pillars this year are on centering self. A lot of scholars had expressed concerns or troubles with how to balance all your responsibilities, all the multiple hats that you wear. So a lot of our events this semester are going to be geared towards centering. How do you find yourself wobbling and how do you center yourself? We also heard from the survey that you also were interested in establishing your future. What does post-graduation look like? You know, what does grad school look like? What does your PhD program look like? Those are the types of events that we're going to try and host this year as well. And then, of course, we also heard you want more emotional support and encouragement. We're definitely here to encourage you. You are all doing fantastic job already. We're just here to help. This is all you. Definitely, we're excited for you. We're definitely very proud of you. I'm sure your families are very proud of you as well. And Kayla's right. You all rock. Like, you're amazing people. Like, I don't know if you need to say that out loud right now, but you could say it. I am amazing. And it's true. There's no lie. What do they say? No cap. Oh, I cringe just saying that. And then lastly, we heard personal agency. You want to know more about how to access resources and how to build that confidence in these spaces of academia that weren't built for us, quite honestly, except if you're at a TCU. But yeah, how do you ask for those supports? And we are here to help you with that. So take a look at the events. We have a list coming up. Adriana's going to cover about what to expect this fall. Thank you so much for respecting my no cap flag. If I could get the next slide, please. And these are all scholarship program requirements for all of our scholars. I'm sorry, these are all the components for our scholars. First, you're doing it right now. Attend the fall 2023 Full Circle Scholar Meet and Greet. Again, please do fill out the event evaluation to be counted as having attended. And then, of course, Kayla mentioned the fall 2023 Full Circle Scholar Survey coming out Friday. Going to be super excited. That one is going to go directly to your email address. So please make sure that you are checking your email. Check the spam folder, check the junk drawer, check all the little nooks and crannies of your email to make sure that you get that. That'll be sent directly to your email address. Next, we have the Connect profile. So if you are familiar and been with us as a scholar, you already made one. Perfect. One check mark done. If you are a new scholar, the Connect profile, Veronica will tell a little bit more, and there is the information there at the bottom. And then lastly, you'll see listed for all our scholars is the future planning form. Again, Veronica will cover that as well. And that's it, really. There's those four main things that we're really excited for you to complete. And that's for all of our scholars. Some of you, depending on your scholarship, may have additional to these, but definitely check out your scholarship agreement letter to see the details. Definitely right there in that yellow box. Please make sure you're reading your scholarship agreement letters. And in that note, I will hand it over to Veronica to tell us a little bit more.
Hi, everyone. I want to be respectful of time. I know we only have 9 minutes left, so admittedly, I'm going to fly through this. So if you can go back to the previous slide with the Connect profile, Julio already touched upon it, so I'm not going to belabor the point. But again, this is a very helpful tool and resource that you can use to gain those insights about your major, about your career plans. I think one of the most powerful aspects of this is that you can connect with professionals who are already in your field. So you can ask them, you know, what would you have done differently? The old kind of cliche of hindsight is 2020. We always know what we would have done differently, maybe in looking back. So you can always ask people, you know, where was maybe that important point for yourself? So you can see that link on the bottom. I'm also going to type in the chat. This is also in your program components that Julio went over. So you'll see it's collegefundconnect.peoplegrove.com. I saw a question earlier. If you already have a Connect profile, do you need to create a second one? No, please don't. Please go ahead and re-access that. There is a function if you happen to have forgotten your password. I realize sometimes passwords are hard to keep track of. We can go to the next slide, please. So the future planning form, as was mentioned previously, this is one of the required components. You can see that you don't really have to worry about this too much until May of 2024. We will be sure to announce that date. but it's grounded in these 6 values that we call the 6 R's. Really, these values are not unique to any one community, and I'm sure you have your own types of definitions for them, but I'm just going to type in the chat some of the definitions that we've arrived at when we talk about the 6 R's. So as you can see in the description here, when we keep these in mind, it really helps us ground ourselves. It helps us put into context what we're doing, why we're doing it. As we know from the survey that Kayla kindly shared with us, one of the major motivations for the majority of our scholars, close to 70%, has been this idea of giving back. So really that R of reciprocity. And we know that we have to have balance in our lives. So it's not that we just give and we never receive, but we also have the humility both to give and to receive. So this future planning form is really designed to help all of us really be able to focus in ways that we define for ourselves what success is, what it looks like, how we can feel affirmed, how we can feel supported, and how we can provide that same type of affirmation and support for our colleagues around us. You can go to the next slide, please. Another aspect that I want to mention is we have this other very helpful tool called Focus to Career. I'm going to put that link in the chat as well. This is also very helpful to help you decide upon what your strengths might be, and put that link in the chat when you want to access this, when you want to create a profile in the Focus to portal. For the first time, you can see the access code that's listed there. It will be College Fund. The way you can get to some of these things is I just put a snapshot from our main website. You can see on the top those little drop-down menus for students. If you click in the area that says Career Readiness and Employment, you scroll to the bottom, you're going to see some helpful videos that explain how to use these various tools that we're talking about. So if we can go to the next slide, please. One other thing that I specifically work with, and this is specific to the kind of career readiness, the employment, really helping enhancing your academic experience. The College Fund offers 2 different opportunities. The first one being the Student Professional Development Grants. As you can see, this is an opportunity to help you just refine, to enhance your already amazing skills. So this is just really an opportunity for you to showcase your shine, so to speak. As you can see, it helps you boost your professional literacy, and not only that, you get some funding for it. So if you're interested in that, you see my contact information on the bottom. We also have a separate program, as you can see listed, the 7 Generations Innovators Fellowships. Those center on those 6 R's. So those definitions that I put in the chat, we really want those fellows who receive this type of fellowship to center their project not only on something having to do with tribal civic responsibility and rural community organizing, but to be very intentional about centering at least one of those 6 R's: that respect, responsibility, reciprocity, relationship, reflection, and redistribution. So if you would like to receive an application, please do feel free to contact me. You see my email is listed there. I'm also going to include it in the chat right now. So if you want to receive an application, please feel free to email me. We can go to the next slide, please. As part of my role serving as the Student Programs Administrator within Career Readiness Employment, I work with a number of our employer partners. Many of these employer partners also provide funding to support some of our full circle scholarships. One of our employer partners is the American Indigenous Business Leaders Organization. And so ABLE, for short, has an amazing mentoring program. You can see the specifics here. It is for people who are ages 18 to 27, so that is a strict rule, but it's open to all academic majors. Even if your university does not yet have an ABLE chapter, you can still apply for the program. So as you see it listed here, this is where you can find out more specific information about the mentorship program. The application deadline is coming up. This is information that I received directly from a person who is responsible for fielding all those application questions. That person told me that they are due September 29th, that's this Friday at midnight. I think what they really mean is September 29th at 11:59 p.m. So as long as you get it in by the very end of Friday, you're good to go. But we strongly encourage you to apply. There are still openings for this. It's an amazing program, an amazing opportunity. And even we have one of our college success coaches who herself participated in that program. We can go to the next slide, please. Another employer partnership that we have that we're very happy to have is with the Walt Disney Company. And so upcoming on Thursday, October 12th, there's going to be an open session for about an hour and a half. You can see the times there, 2 p.m. Pacific or 5 p.m. Eastern. If you're somewhere in Central or Mountain, please adjust accordingly. But this is going to be an amazing opportunity for you to learn about this whole initiative that Disney has to be intentional about being inclusive, especially of Native perspective, Indigenous voices, and that's inclusive of American Indian, Alaska Native. So however you identify in those categories. But as you can see, it's this idea of being a future storyteller. So there's an ample opportunity to connect with professionals, to connect directly with recruiters, regardless of your major. I had the pleasure and privilege of visiting the Orlando property of the Walt Disney World properly this past May and June, and got an amazing behind the scenes glimpse about all the majors that are eligible for various types of jobs at the Disney company. So if you want to learn from these professionals, you can see that link there. I strongly encourage you to apply. And so with that, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague.
Awesome. Thank you, Veronica. I know we're running a little bit short on time, but I promise you we don't have too much left to go. I'm hoping this is the part that you've all been waiting for. I'm kidding. But we're going to be talking to y'all about our important dates and events that are going to be happening this fall. So as you know, we're in September. September has come and gone, but we're still in September. We do have one more mental wellness talking circle planned for tomorrow at 6:30 Mountain Daylight Time. Please take note of the time zones. We're approaching, well, some of us are approaching fall back. What is it? We're going into standard time. Daylight saving time is ending, I forget. But we're going to be having that. So we're going to be moving into October, where we're going to have another mental wellness talking circle on October 3rd. And then we're going to be having more events for life of first generation students. First year programming is coming back for all students who are in their first year of college or welcome. We're going to be having little coaches office hours almost. We're going to call them scholar drop-ins. So those are a chance for you to visit with your coach for a duration of time. Julio's going to have his on October 12th at 2 p.m. And you can drop in whenever you want, ask him any questions regarding your your scholarship components or anything, or if you have any questions in general, or just want to meet Julio, you can go there to say hi to him. And then we have another first year programming, a mental wellness talking circle again, and then we're going to be hosting a time management webinar. Julio and I will be hosting that, and some of you might have already seen one that I've hosted, but we're going to be collaborating on this, so I'm really excited for that one. And then we'll be heading into November. So fall's going to go by really fast, y'all. I'm sure a lot of you are already focusing on that. And we already, we just barely got into fall. So we're going to be opening up fall with a goals board workshop. So Loyola and I will be collaborating on that soon. And for some of these, you'll see to be determined. We'll definitely let you know when these events will be happening. And we will be for sure sending out these calendars in a compressed format for all of you to have for your reference. So just keep in mind, for some of your scholarships, you do have to attend at least any one of these sessions. So just please keep in mind of that. I Am Remarkable events are coming back. We're going to be having 2 this fall session. So we're going to have one on November 4th, and then Loyola will have her scholar drop in, and we'll definitely let you know what time that'll be. And then we're going to be bringing back Gathering of Majors. Hands up if you've been to your Gathering of Majors. So we have business, STEM, science, medical field, tribal related, liberal arts. We have all the different majors that are going to be hosted, and we're all going to be hosting about 2 to 3 each, give or take, and we'll be letting you know when those will be. So anybody in that major is welcome to attend, or even if you're interested in, kind of delving into that major, you're more than welcome to attend. Another first year programming, then I'll be hosting my Gathering of Majors. And then we're going to be hosting a few veteran benefits events as well. So Julio's going to be hosting a panel of veterans on November 9th, and then he'll be hosting his Gathering of Majors. We'll be having another mental wellness talking circle, another I Am Remarkable event on November 15th. And then to help us get started in Trans Awareness Week, we're going to be having a fellow student at a tribal college who's going to be helping us and walking us through their journey with legal name change in higher education, more specifically at a tribal college. So that'll be a really interesting event. I hope you all are interested and want to attend. We'll be having another mental wellness talking circle. We're having a lot, a Tillman Scholarship webinar. And then December, we have 2 straight events, a scholar drop-in with myself, and then all of your scholarship components are due on December 8th. So please, 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 this is the big date that you guys need to write in your calendar and your schedule and your phone reminders. December 8th is the last day to submit all of your scholarship components. So last day to watch this recording, to submit the event evaluation, and then, you know, any other things that are associated with your scholarship program. And then we'll break for the winter break, and then you won't hear from us until probably February next year. Alrighty, so now here are just some general things to remember. So again, all scholarship components are due on December 8th at 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time will be in. And again, keep in mind of your time zone when you're attending events. Again, all of our events are going to be hosted in Denver time, which is in Mountain Zone. So we're here. And for all events that you attend, you do have to submit an event evaluation for attendance tracking. Again, there's a lot of you, so please help us out by filling out these event evaluations to the most accurate that you submitted your scholarship application. So that means same email, same spelling of names, just to help us with our tracking so that we're not mismarking anybody or missing anybody. And please check your email. I know we get a lot of emails back from us who say, I haven't seen your email because you're popping up in my spam or my junk folder. Please make sure to check those, as that's our biggest communication with all of you scholars. But we'll also be text messaging you as well. So please save our contact. This is our phone number right here. One of the coaches, can you drop that into the chat? Some of you might have gotten a text message today with a reminder of this event. That's great. It's not a stranger. We're not scamming you. We're not going to ask for any personal information. This is just for another form of us to communicate with you. And we will be resuming the motivational texts as well. So I know that you guys are really interested in that. And again, lastly, follow us on social media. So Native Pathways. Native Pathways is a part of the American Indian College Fund Student Success Services. So a lot of events that are public facing and anything like cool opportunities, scholarships, you know, you'll see us, we're visiting at different TCUs or other colleges. You'll see them on all our social medias on the Native Pathways. So we have Twitter, which is also X now. I don't know about that. I don't have a Twitter. We have Facebook. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, all at Native Pathways. So definitely follow us there. That is a part of the College Fund again. All right, so that's it pretty much. We're going to be heading into our closing session. So here is our contact information. Of course, we're going to be emailing you all of our coaches or all of our cohorts. So definitely keep us in mind, and definitely try to look out for our emails as we start to email you for this upcoming fall. Oh, and then Loyola's going to walk us through a breathing exercise just to kind of help us ground ourselves before we end our event.
Okay, yeah, thank you all so much. We're just going to take a quick moment. That was a lot of information. Please hang on for a few minutes longer while we get through and ground ourselves. That was so much. Go ahead and shake out your little pawsies, if you will. Give me some stars. Love it, love it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to raise our hand. You can do left or right, whichever one feels funky to you. Go ahead. And as we take our other hand, we're going to trace over our fingers, okay? And as we do, we're going to breathe in and go down, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One last time, breathe in and breathe out. Okay, awesome. Thank you all so much. We're going to go ahead and drop the event evaluation in the chat. Julio, if you would be so kind. And remember, please do complete the event evaluation. This tells us you were in attendance. And once you get that done, boom, you got it all set. Thank you all so much for being here. You can also take a picture of this QR code. It's very nifty. And that'll take you straight to the event evaluation as well. Again, this event is being recorded, so if you have to hop off sooner than you would like, please do feel free to check your emails. We do appreciate that. Check them regularly, check your spam. We'll send out the event recording as well as the event evaluation. Someone did ask if we're going to include all the links, and sure, we can do that. We'll put that in the email, a nice concise space for you to gather all the information you need. Again, please do check out your scholarship agreement letter. That is on your scholars portal. This will tell you all the details you need to maintain your scholarship. I'm going to drop that in the chat as well. I'm going to take some questions. Feel free to use the Q&A function. We'll go ahead and answer them aloud. Can we get the phone number again? Yeah, absolutely. Please do save it in your phone. We are not spam. We are not gonna try and sell you anything. We are here to help you and to send you reminders.
Unless you want us to. I'm kidding.
Always happy to drop in a bid for my earrings if you want to purchase them. I'm just kidding. I do not bead. Wish I did. Are we going to get a text for all mandatory meetings? This is probably the only mandatory meeting where we'll meet like this, live and in person and recording. So you really don't need, we probably won't be texting you for a lot of meetings. Again, we don't want to bombard your phone. We're not going to blow up your phone. We're not going to make your honey jealous. We're just here to give you some information. We will probably send you reminders around the scholarship survey. Sorry, not scholarship. Sorry, gosh. Scholar survey coming out Friday. We'll send you reminders if you haven't completed that. We'll go ahead and text you a reminder. So I'm dropping the text number in the chat here. Go ahead. That's it. When is the event evaluation due? Great question. So the event evaluations, the very last day to submit them is December 8th at 11 p.m. Mountain Time. That is the very last day. If you don't want to get confused or wonder if you did it, if you didn't do it, submit them as soon as possible. So let's go ahead and drop that event evaluation link in the chat one more time. Definitely we want to make sure y'all get that as soon as possible, so you can get that out of the way, out of your hair. Don't need to worry about it. Boom, you have your Connect profile done. Boom, you have your meet and greet done. Look at you. You're going to finish the scholar survey on Friday as soon as it hits your email, and there you go. You're all set. It's just that simple for some of y'all.
And Lonnie, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. The best way to find out about what your scholarship program is to look at your scholarship agreement letter, which can be found in your scholarship portal. So please check that, and that's where it'll tell you. Or then your coach will reach out to you probably, and you'll figure out that way. But we suggest that you look at your scholarship portal.
Great. Great. So we answered that. Great. Once we see the document evaluation due, answered that. How can I attend AHEC if my school doesn't go? Oh, and Bridget said she can teach me to bead. Oh, I would love that. Let's start a beading club. That'd be awesome. So yeah, if your school doesn't go, I would honestly approach your student services and let them know about AHEC. For those of you that aren't aware, AHEC is the American Indian Higher Education Consortium. It is how all of the tribal colleges, all 34 of them, receive certification that they are higher education institutes. And then that's how they get their status as a tribal college. So you can't be a tribal college just because you have a bunch of natives. So like think of Northern Arizona University, Fort Lewis College. Those do have large native populations, but are native controlled. So they wouldn't be classified as a TCU. TCUs are controlled by their nations. They are predominantly native attending. So those are the types that get to go to AHEC. But if you're from a local college and you want to attend, for sure, I would go to the student services, let them know about AHEC, let them know it's about a cultural experience. If you have a Native group on your campus, you can always raise funding to attend AHEC. Believe it's going to be in Minneapolis, 2024. The hometown of Prince, if y'all are that old. Everybody should know who Prince is. When will the video recording of today's event be posted? So we are going to send it off to be edited. We're going to edit out the pauses and make it a little bit cleaner for you. So look for it, I'd say, end of the week. Fingers crossed, for sure. But yeah, we'll get that out to you so you can rewatch this all at your leisure. If there's any pieces that you missed, you can always rewatch them again. Okay.
Yes, and we always appreciate your feedback. Again, we are very feedback heavy here at the College Fund, especially the College Success Coaches. We use all of your feedback, all of your comments, every single one of them to help us schedule each semester's schedule of events, basically. So thank you again for those of you who have already completed them. I see you. I'm thanking you in the chat. And for those of you who are still going to get them done, we love you just as much. And yeah, again, the very last day is December 8th to get everything done, including this event evaluation survey. But we're hoping that you get it done a little sooner than that.
Again, get that stress out of your hair. You don't want this lingering over you. Get that done. Okay, someone is asking, where can we find the scholarship ID? Yes, that is in the scholarship portal. Adriana's going to take us back to that slide. It is a new thing, so if you don't find it immediately, that is okay. This is a new thing we are asking for, so another responsibility. So when you log into your scholarship portal, I dropped the link in the chat here. That is your scholarship portal. Remember your login information. Once you log in, you'll select the active scholar. It'll say active scholar fall. That's this fall 2023. Go ahead and hit that, open. And then it'll break down into college success coach. This test account has Julio Baron, both the 2023, 2024. Go ahead and click open, and then you should see it as the first number that comes up, scholarship application ID. And I believe it's 7 digits. Am I lying? Gosh, now I have to find it. But yeah, so definitely some say edit instead of open. That's interesting. We'll get that fixed so they all say open. Thank you for the feedback. We do know that'll help us relay that information to the scholarship team. Someone said 8-digit number. I was off by 1, so definitely don't hold me to that. It's an 8-digit number. Yep, I see some of them say edit, some say open. Huh. It's so strange. I'll let Juan know. There's some say edit.
Yeah, so don't worry about that for now. It's optional on the survey, so you don't have to. We're not requiring you to finish that one part of the survey. But yeah, we'll definitely let you know when we get that fixed up and cleared up here.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you everyone for.
Oh, some people are saying
feedback.
if you click edit, it'll give you your application ID. So maybe try that if it's
faster, easier.
Yeah.
Boom. Julie is done. Appreciate the hard work, Julie.
Oh, Colin is done too. Awesome.
Thank you. Mary saying it's not working. Tess is done. All right, great. Do we have any more questions in the chat? Do you need your scholarship ID number to register for the Disney Talk? I want to say no, but let me give it to Veronica.
No, you do not. So all you have to do is click on that link to register for it. You don't need your scholarship ID for that. So just make sure that whatever your time zone is, that you tune in at the correct time. So again, that date in October, it would start at 2 p.m. Pacific time or 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you're Central or Mountain, looking at that helpful map that was at the end of our presentation could really help you figure out when you should tune in. So that bit.ly link, just feel free to click on it. and away you go.
And if you already completed the event evaluation for this event, please don't worry if you didn't put in your scholarship ID number. We will circle back to this again. It's a learning curve. This is not a strict requirement this semester, but will be a requirement next semester.
Awesome.
All righty, it looks like we did great. Thank you all for hanging on. I do appreciate it. Y'all have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Drink some water. This event evaluation, again, was in the chat and on the screen. Looking
And
forward to
we'll
working with you all.
And we will be in contact with all of you shortly. So thank you all so much. It was lovely seeing you all for the first time. Some of you, again, love seeing you all. And yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Take care, everybody. So proud of you. Keep up the good work. Y'all doing great. Fantastic. So beautiful. Nijone. Ancestors are proud. Your family's proud of you. I'm proud of you. Your puppies are proud of you.